And now we're bringing you some guys you can look for later on in the draft. These are guys that we'll both be having our eyes on. So keep these guys in mind.
Stopping me, I'ma be what I set out to be, without a doubt, undoubtedly. And all those who look down on me, I'm tearing down your balcony. No ifs, ands, or buts, don't try to ask him why or how can he. From Infinite down to the last relapse album, he's still sitting where the results.
Not a deep guy, but outside the top 10, I think that Steve Smith from the Giants is a clutch receiver. I mean, he was a workhorse last year. I don't know if he'll break the top 10, but he's just another guy you can look for at the round later, just around outside of where everybody else is going.
Definitely.
But let's go into a little bit deeper receivers like we said we would.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with that.
Yeah, I got a Santana Moss here. He's going mid-late 6th round, so he's not too deep yet, but I think he greatly improves this year with McNabb as his quarterback. He's never had a top 10 quarterback on his team.
Oh, no,
McNabb's going to increase the numbers for him. I think he's going to connect with McNabb early and often.
I agree. A guy I like a little bit later is Johnny Knox. He's going about 109th overall. I really like his fit with Mike Martz.
Definitely.
He's quick, and I think they're going to throw him the ball a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and he's right now going in the beginning of the 9th round, and I'd be willing to snag him up a round early, maybe even 2.
Yep. I'd probably go. I could. I'm not saying I will, but I could see, depending on who I have already, I might get him if I had a late 7th round pick.
And you gotta, Cutler likes to throw the ball, and now he's got an offensive coach there that likes to throw the ball as well. They're going to be throwing the ball more this year. So.
Yeah, if I already have 2 clutch receivers before that, I could see myself taking a risk on him about 7th, 8th round.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's there in the 9th because I'll take him there too.
I also want to bring up a guy I'm a little low on. TJ Hushmanzada. He's going in the 6th round. I do not feel he's a 6th rounder. I probably won't even draft him in the 8th round. I do not think Seattle's a good team. I don't think they have anyone to complement Hushmanzada, and I think that's what he needs, and that's why he thrives so well in Cincinnati with Ocho Cinco on the other side. But I just think he's going way too early.
Yeah, I can see that. Plus, is Matt Hasselbeck going to hold up all year anyway? He's on his last legs. Hope he's not watching this because I don't want him to beat me up. But somebody I'd like to bring up as well, and you know what? I'm not really sold on which guy I'm going with here, but I'm definitely a fan of Chaz Schillings and Lewis Murphy. I'm not sure. Lewis Murphy's not even the top 200 going right now, but I would take him late for sure. The Raiders are going to be much better passing the ball this year with Jason Campbell. I know Hayward Bay is going to be starting the year. I don't think that's going to stay that way. I think Lewis Murphy, and as long as Chaz Schilling stays healthy, I think he could be really good too. I know they were talking about last year a lot before the season started. He battled a foot injury or something.
Yeah. And my only issue with them wide receivers is not knowing who it's going to be. Yeah. So you're really taking a chance on it. But you get these guys really late.
Yeah, you can get them late. If you want, you can even take them both really late.
Yeah.
One of them's probably going to have a really good year. So.
Another guy that I'm high on this year, I'm sure some other people are, is T.O. He's going in the early 8th round right now. My thing with him is I think, this is just a hunch on my part, I think he's going to be the leading receiver in Cincinnati. And Ocho Cinco's going in the 4th round. I'd rather snag T.O. in the 8th round than take Ocho Cinco in the 4th round.
I'm 100% on board with that, my friend. I've always liked T.O. actually. A lot of people, he's been known to be a puke sometimes, but he's a guy that talked smack, but backed it up for the most part. Until the last couple of years, he's dropped a lot of balls. I understand that, but there's no negative points for dropping balls for the most part in leagues. So, and I think he plays much better than he did last year with Buffalo. I don't think they used him effectively in the first place. I think Cincinnati will use him, so I agree with you on that one. I also want to bring up Mike Wallace with Santonio Holmes gone. He's a big play threat. He runs the 4.3, or he runs the 40 and a 4.3. He's a really quick receiver as well.
He had 4 touchdowns of 40-plus yards last year. So
I think they're going to use him a lot as well. And Hines Ward, he's gonna get his numbers too.
Yeah,
even though he's getting older, he's still he's still there, and kind of like Donald Driver to Greg Jennings.
Yeah.
Hines Ward's still effective.
I do think Pittsburgh's going to go back to the run a little bit more than they did last year. I think they're forced to throw more than they wanted to last year because they get down in games so quickly. But I definitely think Mike Wallace is a factor. And right now he's going middle of 6th round.
Yeah.
No problem taking him a little bit earlier than that. I also have Steve Smith on my list. I realize he's still a high-profile wide receiver. There's a lot of people.
Steve Smith, are you talking about?
Carolina.
Okay.
There's a lot of people talking down on Steve Smith. He hasn't had the greatest of numbers the past few years. But if you look at his numbers with Matt Moore as a starter, in the 4 games he played with Moore as a starter, he had 19 catches for 3 touchdowns and 378 yards. Moore seems to get him the ball, and he knows who his number 1 guy is, and he's going to get him the ball. He is being drafted in the late 3rd or late 4th round, and that's right where I would take him. I wouldn't take him earlier than that. I'm just saying, don't knock him off your radar. Because you question the quarterback situation in Carolina, because it was obvious that his production picked up with Moore in there.
Yeah, Matt Moore's going to definitely lean on him. I don't know if I'd take him in the 3rd or 4th round, but I definitely still think he's a threat to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Last guy I'll bring up is Kenny Britt. I know he's not a flashy name. I do feel like Vince Young is taking baby steps in the right direction. I'm going to say baby steps because I know he's not going to just come off the board and be a Drew Brees and have a receiver like Colston there or anything. But I just think Kenny Britt's a good talent. He's 6'3", he's a big receiver. He makes a lot of big plays when they give him the chance to. I think if they used him more efficiently, I think he could definitely step up. And I just want to give the Titans the benefit of the doubt that they're going to pass the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than they did, because they're really they're not just a run-first team. They're almost a run-only team. I think they had the most running plays last year. Like as far as like the percentage goes, I mean, their percentage from run to pass was very slanted towards running. I think that's gonna balance out a little bit.
Yeah, and on average, he's going in the 10th round right now, so you don't have to get him early. He's a guy that you could pick up, and hopefully he ends up doing well for you. I got a few names I want to name here that are going undrafted in a standard 12-man league right now. The first one being Mike Williams. He's a rookie for Tampa Bay, and everything I'm hearing is he's looking really good in camp, and it's looking like he might be the guy there that they put in their 1 spot. This is a very talented guy. He did have some trouble in college. He got kicked out of his college, and that's why he fell so far in the draft. But I definitely think there's something there, and they really don't have anyone else there. They're going to be pretty much starting 2 rookie wide receivers there.
Like Oakland last year?
Yeah, and Tampa Bay doesn't have a strong schedule. So, and Freeman, everyone's talking up Freeman. If you're going to think he's going to do well, he's going to get this guy the ball. Mike Williams, I think, is going to be his guy.
Yeah.
Another guy is Jacoby Jones. I really, really like Jacoby Jones, and I'm very shocked that he's not being drafted. This guy's very talented. Last I heard, he's beating out Kevin Walter for the number 2 spot. This guy had 6 touchdowns last year, and he only started in 1 game. So, if you're a 3rd wide receiver and you're getting 6 touchdowns, that says something about you. He's a big target. He's fast. He reminds me a lot of Andre Johnson, and if you have 2 people like that on the same team, it's going to be a dangerous team, and I think he'll get his fair share of catches.
I do agree with you on that one. With Owen Daniels, recovering from his injury, I mean, if Owen Daniels ends up getting banged up again, I mean, they're going to have to look for another threat besides Andre Johnson. He would be the guy.
Yeah.
If Andre Johnson gets banged up, they're going to be looking for him too. I think there's a lot of possibility for him.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to take a stand.
Alright, and that about wraps it up for this week's Fantasy Football Mayhem. Keep your questions coming to fantasyfootballmayhem@live.com.
We're out.
Things are stopping me. I'ma be what I set out to be, without a doubt, undoubtedly. And all those who look down on me, I'm terrible.